Hi there, welcome back to the Ganbatte series. We're in episode 3. So today I'm talking about embracing failure. And I must apologise for the blur. It's really quite bad, isn't it? Not to worry, moving on. Embracing failure. Falling down 7 times, getting up 8. Failure is one of those things, isn't it, that we really have some harmful, very harmful programming around failure. And yet failure is simply a part of the process of learning. You know, think about a child, a baby, when it's learning to walk. If it gets up to take its first steps and falls down, we don't suggest that it just stay down there, like give up, just give it up, kid. You're not very good at the walking thing, obviously. You're a failure. We encourage them to give it another go, get up again. We do the same when we're teaching kids to ride a bike, learn new skills and play sport. Rather than have them give up the first time that it doesn't go to plan, we suggest that, it's okay, you're learning. And yet, as an adult, we don't afford ourselves or other people that same grace and space with which to learn. And yet, we're learning new skills, even something as what seems to be simple, like emotional regulation, cognitive understanding, simple things that perhaps we did not have the opportunity really to learn as we were growing up. And so we're learning it as an adult, and yet we expect ourselves and others to just pick it up on the first go. And that if we don't pick it up on the first go, then we turn that failure into shame. We become embarrassed that we've made a mistake or that we're not good at something. So I'd like us to challenge ourselves to really change that programming around perceived failure. Approach it with the same curiosity that you would a child. This is where the feedback sandwich was birthed, in recognizing the damage that we have done in previous generations when giving feedback in regards to a mistake. That as a child, we have more grace, understanding, nurturing. And yet, as we grow older, we seem to lose that and expect so much more from ourselves and other people, even though it could be a new skill that we're learning. So to change that programming, because we're choosing shame, remember, when we make a mistake and we either give it up or we get embarrassed or we, have an emotional response to it, we're choosing shame, we're choosing embarrassment. And that's due to that programming of, well, if we make a mistake, it must mean I'm a bad person, I'm causing disappointment, I'm being judged, and we're using it to measure our worth. And it's really not a good measure of worth. The measure of worth is when someone actually keeps learning and going through that process of getting better and improving. That commitment to something, to keep giving it a go. What a great measure of worth that is, So what if instead we choose curiosity? When something doesn't go to plan, goes a bit pear-shaped, what if we choose curiosity instead of shame? And the way that we choose curiosity and reprogram that and get into the habit is giving ourselves a feedback sandwich. And that involves, and you've probably heard of this before, the 4 big questions that you ask yourself when you want to improve something, or you can ask other people, if you're leading a group and you want to improve whatever your business is doing. The same 4 questions come into play. The first one is, what went well? Second one, what didn't go well? Third one, what could I do differently? And fourth question, what did I learn? So you can see how this becomes a feedback sandwich. And what does it sound like? What went well? Hey, you did really well with that presentation you did. So you spoke really clearly. That was so good. I loved that you spoke clearly and succinctly. What you could improve on next time is, I noticed that you were using a lot of fillers, a lot of ums and ahs and spaces in your discussion. So perhaps that's something that you could look at working on. And just to stretch you a little bit, perhaps look at, rather than reading from your notes, practicing a little bit and just having some dot points to help you become more fluid as you're speaking to a group. However, what I didn't realize was how funny you are. I love how you insert humor into everything that you do when you present to people. I really enjoyed that. You're very good at it. That is a feedback sandwich, and that is answering the 4 questions. What went well? What didn't go well? What could I do differently? And what did I learn? So you can see that when you yourself make a mistake, stumble while you're learning something, instead of going straight to shame, which you may do for a while, you may feel embarrassed, you may feel like giving up, you may feel that it's not for you. Take a breath. It's okay that those are your first knee-jerk reactions. A lot of us will have those same first responses, and that's okay. That's the programming. Sit with it and then challenge it and say, okay, I could continue feeling like this and feeling like crap that I made a mistake, or I could decide to become curious about it, push myself to grow from this experience. And then ask yourself the 4 questions and be honest with yourself. Really discuss with yourself how everything went. What went well? What didn't go well? What could I do differently? And what did I learn? And then you know what? Get back on the bike and give it another go. You seriously have nothing to lose and so much to gain by backing yourself to learn a new skill and continue growing that skill, nurturing that skill. Yeah? Okay, well, I trust that this was helpful and that you can use this week until the next episode to really focus on reprogramming the shame that has been built in with making mistakes and getting things wrong and failing, I guess is the word. Reprogram it to curiosity, to being part of the process of learning. That if you've made a mistake, it's simply because you're learning something new. Give yourself grace to improve on that and become even better. Good luck. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.